Hello, Degens. Welcome to Degenerate Takes PLL Premier Lacrosse League Week 3 Power Rankings. I, of course, am the perfect one, AJ, and here we are today after an epic PLL Week 2 action. Great weekend all around. Not only on the field, but in the books. Went 4-4 in all of my bets this weekend. Yeah, that's 500. That's right, but up 2 units because hit a couple of those parlays that were really nice. If you're missing out on those and you're missing out on my picks, you got to make sure you tune in every single Wednesday for my PLL bets where I handicap the entire slate, let you know what the best picks are, and so that we can take all the sports books money. But with that being said, power rankings have shifted a bit, and a lot has to do with this weekend and the action that I saw and just how every team performed. It was unbelievable. The teams that were really good came out. The teams that were questionable stay questionable, and the teams that are really fucking bad show just absolutely how bad they are. Let's go ahead and let's take a moment to review the scores this weekend so we're not walking into this blind. This is courtesy of the PLL website. Here we got the Chrome, who just absolutely destroyed the Redwoods 12-3 chaos, coming up short 12-17 against the Archers. Atlas just shutting down the Cannon 16-8. Whip Snakes versus the Water Dogs. That was 12-11. Hell of a lot closer of a game than it probably should have been. And we'll get into that. We'll get into that a little bit. What does it all mean? Luckily, you're here for me to tell you. So why fuck around? Let's go ahead and take a look at my power rankings coming in hot. Week 3 PLL. Let's get into it. Week 3, number 1, we got the Whip Snakes. Number 2, we got the Chromes, the Atlas there at number 3. Archers, they're moving up to number 4. The Water Dogs there at number 5. Chaos at number 6. Cannons at the 7. And the Redwoods wrapping it up there in the 8 seed. Let me tell you, the Redwoods have the biggest question mark of all teams. I can't tell you what they need except everything, bro. They just aren't a good lacrosse squad right now. I don't know what's not clicking. I don't know what's going on, but something ain't working for that Redwood squad. And they got talent. They got the talent, and that's what's a little disappointing. However, you go ahead and you look at the stats. Shots on goal for this game alone. Chrome 22, Redwoods 13. 13 shots on goal, and they made 3 of them. That's not solid at all. Goaltending needs to step up. Turnovers need to stop. They need to win faceoffs. I mean, everything that needs to be solved, the Chrome were doing extremely well. They are on a tear. We'll get to the Chrome a little bit later. Let's go to the Cannons next there at the number 7, dropping all the way from number 4 last week to number 7. The big reason they dropped is because this week showed how much of a liability not having Lyle Thompson on that field is. He is the heart and soul of that lacrosse squad. And when no Lyle, no juice. Simple as that. The team ain't got nothing when he ain't on the field. I had the Cannons plus the 1.5. It moved to 2.5 at plus money, and I was like, oh, I'm going to slam that. Slammed it, and then I get the tweet, Lyle Thompson out for the game. I'm like, fuck. Well, shit happens. I'm not too worried about that bet, but yeah, Cannons, they need another star. They need something else. They need a little bit more chemistry because no Lyle, they're going to keep struggling. Number 6. I know what you're thinking, AJ. These are the defending reigning champs. You had that at number 1 to start it off, number 2 last week, and now they're all the way at number 6. Yes, bro. Yes, because this chaos team is not performing like world champs, bro. They lost by 5 points to the Archers and barely lost to the Whip Snakes last week. We'll get to the Snakes later because that is a whole other can of worms. But I'm telling you, this Chaos team doesn't have it anymore. They just don't have it. The slide continues for these guys. They need to figure out something because they're just, it's simple. They're just not playing good lacrosse, good sound lacrosse. They had way too many turnovers last week, a lot of turnovers this week. Didn't cause some couple saves here and there, but they had shots on goal. They're still losing the shot on goal battle. If you lose the shot on goal battle, you're more than likely going to lose the game unless you have a goaltender who absolutely stands on his head. And with that being said, they do. Blaze is an amazing goaltender, but he got pulled in the first half, and I can't blame him. He was letting everything through. It was terrible. Terrible. That takes us to number 5, the Water Dogs, getting a slight bump there from number 7, really showing up against the Chrome. I'm Stoked with how they performed there. Obviously, they lost. Nope, wrong one. Sorry, wrong week. Checking. There we go. I liked how they performed against the Whip Snakes. They looked like a good, solid lacrosse team. The defense stepped up. The offense kept getting shots on goal, and they kept the ball moving. High pace against this Whip Snakes team seems to be their kryptonite. They might not be able to keep up with that. Again, we'll get into the Whip Snakes later. But I'm more stoked with how they performed in this loss than I am in how any of these other teams performed. And that's why the Water Dogs are up there at number 5 to wrap up the bottom 8. The bottom 4, top, and then number 4, you got the Archers. Arrows are flying, shots are flying. 17-12 victory over the Chaos. Offense was the story here, along with how solid their defense was performing, causing the turnovers, keeping the Chaos on their toes. It's great. The Archers are flying, but I still need to see a little something. I need to see them against a tougher opponent, and we'll get to that. We'll get to that eventually later down the line. And that brings me to number 3. The Atlas are just absolute dogs. They are just a well-oiled machine that just continues to put up points and operate smoothly. The reason they're at number 4 and not number 3 and not higher on the list is because they were performing against a Cannons team without Lyle Thompson, and that is a very big factor that took into account here. But the Atlas are going to stay chilling at 3 for the 3rd consecutive week in the row. And that takes me to number 2. From number 8 in the power rankings first week to number 5 last week, and now all the way up to number 2. The Chrome, from worst to maybe the best team in the PLL right now. Still need to see a little bit. I want to see another week before I can confidently put them at number 1, especially as the Whip Snakes keep winning, bro. But I'm telling you, this Chrome team, if you're not on them already, start getting on them, especially if the books are going to keep giving us these whack numbers at plus money. I'll take the plus 1.5 at plus money. I'll take the money line and keep taking your money. Simple as that, ladies and gentlemen. It's simple as that. But they're not number 1. And they're not number 1 right now because the Whip Snakes continue to win games. Now, I will say I'm going to stop taking them on the spread because they cannot cover a game to save their life. Simple as that. This was too close for comfort if I am the Whip Snakes. Against a Water Dogs team, again, like I said, performing well. But this should not have been a dogfight. This should not have been a dogfight, bro. It really shouldn't have. The shots on goal, 45-37. Whip Snakes taking the lead there. Turnovers. They just had 26 turnovers, bro. 26 turnovers. That's terrible. That is terrible. You cannot try to win a playoff game. You cannot try to win anything with that many turnovers comparatively to the 14. That's terrible. They only caused 5, and then they won all the faceoffs, 12-14 saves. The goalie was standing on their head for the Water Dogs. What's his name? I forgot his name. Matt DeLuca, just an absolute stud with 14 saves yesterday. Yeah, I'll give the Whip Snakes their credit. They are number 1 because of the prestige and what they've continued to do. But, bro, they're on the hot seat. If I'm not, looking at the rest of these teams, there is no other team, and maybe the Chaos, but there's no other team with real expectations like there are with the Whip Snakes. The Whip Snakes continue to win championships and play well or be in the play and be in the championship. But, hey, if they lose the juice, it's not their fault. They just, sometimes dynasties have to come to an end. Look at the Patriots as they're trying to rebuild with Mac Jones. Look at the Seahawks as they're trying to rebuild with Geno Smith, I guess. I don't know. That's a whole other mess, but that's a whole other sport too. But yeah, one more time. My power rankings, you got Whip Snakes, Chrome, Atlas, Archers, Water Dogs, Chaos, Cannons, and the Redwoods. And hey, like I said, this Wednesday I will be out with the matchups and with the numbers to give you the best lines for this PLL week. And if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to this video for more PLL and all other sports content here on Degenerate Takes. Big stuff coming. Got a lot going on right now. We're up to something. We're up to a lot. So please like, share, subscribe. Follow the show on Twitter at DGenTakes. Follow myself at Brofict12 for continued PLL content. And yeah, with that being said, I've been the Brofict one, and we'll see you next time on Degenerate Takes.